I think I let my guard down. Certain things ain't the same now. Hard to navigate these problems. I'm by myself, you're not around. I tried to open up, it wasn't good enough. Put in my all and got nothing back. Now I'm stuck in the rain, dealing with all this pain. Why you gotta do me like that? Don't say you love me, then go and leave me. It can't get ugly, trust and believe me. Say it to myself, looks so deceiving. Trying to fight back, this far from easy. I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know my heart turned cold, lost control. Looking at this beautiful distraction. Fell in love with a fatal attraction. I really let my guard down, now relaxing. Why did I open up? She taking way too much. Put in my all and got nothing back. I'm feeling so ashamed, I fell into your game. Why you gotta do me like that? Don't say you love me, then go and leave me. It can't get ugly, trust and believe me. Say it to myself, looks so deceiving. Trying to fight back, this far from easy. I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know gave you all of me, had me so deceived. You chose to leave my life, so I'm on my own in a cycle. I can't believe. Don't say you love me, then go and leave me. It can't get ugly, trust and believe me. Say it to myself, looks so deceiving. Trying to fight back, just far from easy. I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know I've seen your hands. Delilah, don't you know Delilah, don't you know
Centerfold, hard to hide it. Oh, on the walls, in the writing. If we stay, we're complacent. Too much time to be wasted. I don't wanna lie to you like this. I don't wanna fight with you like this. We gon' pay the price if we blinded. Oh, baby, don't you wait on me. 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 What if it's silver lining? Stars align in the silence. If we stay in the same place, we could lose what we came with. I don't wanna lie to you like this. I don't wanna fight with you like this. We gon' pay the price if we blinded. Oh, baby, don't you wait on me. Baby, don't you wait on me. Baby, don't you wait on me. Baby, don't you wait on me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? What's going on? How we all doing today on this beautiful Money Monday? Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit me with a big old Alpha Day Trading. Good morning. And let's go ahead and get a quick little audio check as well, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Every single day until we have like a week straight of no audio issues, we're going to do a mic check, mic check. We got 2 speakers. Check. It's not cutting out and distorted. Check. We feeling good, feeling great. Check. Let's get it. John, bro, good morning. Mr. Joey, good morning as well. How we all doing? How we feeling? As you can probably hear, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic. Check, check. Mr. Scott, what's good? Good morning, Skylar. Woo! You guys are all set, ready to rock. You guys are ready to make it happen on this beautiful Money Monday. It's a brand new day and a brand new week, team, full of brand new opportunities. So I always want to start here with a brand new day ahead of us and a brand new week is whatever happened last week, don't hold on to it. I don't care if it was a fantastic $10,000 week in the market. I don't care if you broke even. I don't care if you lost, right? You always got to do your reflect and project. All right, guys. Right, reflect on your week, project it into this week. Don't hold on to anything positive or negative. Just start your day brand spanking new, fresh, clear mind, optimistic, motivated, ready to go, ready to make it happen, guys. All right, but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to work with each and every one of you. And I'm excited to see what we have in store for today. So there's a couple of stocks I want to talk about. Get you guys prepared on the SPY and the Qs. But then I really want to open the floor and see what you guys are watching because there's not a whole lot that stands out to me in pre-market, right? Not a lot that's really standing out to me. So I'm going to talk about the stocks that do stand out to me here in pre-market, right? And get you prepared with what I'm looking at. But I'm kind of playing into like market conditions of last week. And what were the market conditions of last week? Okay, market conditions were top gaining stocks in pre-market. Right? Pretty good action in pre-market, actually. I mean, there was decent movement in pre-market last week. Market opens, everything fades. I mean, 90% of those top gaining stocks just dumped on off. And it was really, really hard to catch anything to the long side. 10, 15 minutes into the day, boom, high day momentum scanner, stock ripping, breakout scanner, halt, resume. And it's like, where did this stock come from? But what? There is nothing happening in pre-market. Now it's the top gaining stock that rips 50, 60, 70%. So my approach today is going to be like my approach end of last week. Markets conditions. I'm not looking to touch anything long out of the gate, nor do I really want to touch anything short out of the gate. I kind of just want to sit back the first 5, 10, 15 minutes and really see what the market conditions are like. Are they like last week? If so, we know how to play today and the rest of this week. Right? Are market conditions completely different? Well, let's gauge and get an idea of what those market conditions are like, and we will make it happen, guys. All right? So I'm going to talk about the stocks that I think have good potential, and then I really want to save some time to talk about the stocks and dissect the stocks that you think have good potential, because in reality, I'm not looking to trade anything right at the start of the day. I'm looking to sit back and see where the best trade is. Where are traders going? What are those market conditions like? Because right now, it's kind of looking a little bit like last week. But let's talk about what we got going on. Number one, we will be watching GCT today. All right? You got support back down at $5.50 at this point in time. You have top resistance at $8.75. Yeah. Support's all the way back down at $5.50. Now, you got other levels of support, right? You do. But, you know, your best level of support is going to be back down at $5.50, and that's coming from the daily chart, okay, right around $5.52. Now, you could hold these prior highs, right? You can hold 608. You can come down to this low and hold 618. Again, these are really, really light levels, and we need to see decent price action and other separate reasons to validate one of these light levels of support. But if you look at the daily chart, the best, most strongest level of support at this point in time is back down around $5.50, okay? Resistance, $7.85, $8. Give yourself about a 15-cent window between $7.85 and $8, okay? Just that spiking high on the daily, And then that lower shadow here from October 3rd, right around $8. So call it $7.85 to $8 resistance. And that's a pretty decent level of resistance. And then if we break over that level, we have great room to $8.75. So we could see the stock today, GCT, all the way up towards around $8.75. And we know that when stocks break $8.75, 80% of the time, they like to rip and run all the way where? To $10. And that's very possible that we see take place on GCT today, all right? So I like GCT. I think there's potential, but there's no way I'm touching it at 650. No way I'm touching it here at 650 when I see good support right now at this point in time, 9:07 in the morning at 550 with resistance all the way up at 7.85 to $8 next. So we got to sit back and really wait for it to develop a little bit more and really give us a cleaner setup, a cleaner trade, right? Something that we can take advantage of. Right now, it's definitely worth watching, but no entries right now, right? 8 million in float, could definitely rip and run. 2x on the volume, so we got great volume. And, it's moving. It looks decent. There's potential to the upside. Sit back, relax, wait for it to set up, all right? Wait for that trade, wait for that opportunity. And when we see it setting up and we see that opportunity, let's freaking crush it and let's make it happen, all right? So GCT, definitely going to keep that on watch. DWAC. Yeah, good old DWAC. We will be watching this stock today as well. So looking at that daily chart, and excuse me, guys, I probably will sniffle a lot, cough a lot. My allergies are still really, really, really bad, just so you guys are fully aware. So if I ever have to mute myself, I will. And if you're like, where'd the audio go? It's me coughing and yakking. All right, so 1 second. Even the allergy medicine doesn't help, but we're good. All right, so DWAC. I want to see if we get a little bit of a bounce today, right around $20. Now, I could see this coming as low as maybe 1962 towards around that 1970. But we do know that $20 is a solid level of support right at $20. But I also see that spiking high maybe being a little bit of a bounce play level, a little bit of a dip buy level. And then same thing with that lower shadow here at 1970. A little bit of a dip buy area. So I kind of like that zone, right? So what I want to do is remove this out, grab myself a little gray box, and I want to go to that lower shadow and then that higher upper shadow, that spiking high there from early October, right around 1964, and I want to draw that out to the right. And I want to give myself a little zone. And this is where I think we could see a really nice dip buy. If we ever come down to 20, we could bounce off 20. Absolutely. But it'd be really nice to see it come down to 20, dip below $20, right? Freak a lot of traders out. They panic. You got professional buyers, professional traders sitting down here right around that 1964 to 1970 looking to get in, right? For a dip buy. It pushes back above 20 and then starts to rip. I mean, how many times have you seen that? Right? How many times are you like, all right, $20 dip buy comes down to 20. Now you see it at 1990, 1980. You're like, oh, but it's cracking 20. I'm out. And everybody else is getting out. And it comes down a little bit lower, strong bounce, closes back above that support level, and then rips. We see that all the time, right? Now it could come down to 20 and bounce. And if that happens, I miss the DWAC trade. I just miss it. But if we come down to 20 and we start wicking below 20 in that little gray box, fast, like dip buy price action, I'm all in. I want to get involved in DWAC, expecting to see it bounce back above 20 and see a nice little push here, guys. So I definitely want to keep that on watch here with DWAC. All right, that's my one trade plan that I have built for right at the start of the day. And if we see that take place, I am going to take advantage of it. Other than that, if we don't see that happen right at the start of the day or at any point today, I'll have to wait for it to develop and set up and provide me with a different opportunity when that time comes. But right now, that's the only thing that I can see on DWAC that really gets me interested, right? If we see that, I'm interested. I want to take that trade, right? Other than that, I don't see anything else. Break a VWAP, I'm not getting in. Break over 25, I don't care, right? Maybe I care when that time comes. Maybe I see an opportunity. Maybe I see a reason to get involved. But the only thing that I see right now is that dip buy below 20 for a nice little pop back above 20, nice little rebound, nice little follow through. Other than that, we got to sit back, be patient, and wait for this to develop just a little bit more, guys. But I do like DWAC. I think it has potential, and I want to keep this one on high watch, okay? And then lastly, ORGS. I'm not crazy myself about ORGS, but I would say that if we can hold above 155, actually it's a little bit higher than 155. Go ahead and clear that out. I would say, boop, right there, 157. As long as we hold above 157 today, we have great potential. I mean, back up to that pre-market high of $2. But I see good potential to 241, right? So this morning, securing up to $50 million subsidiary level investment. So a $50 million investment here with ORGS. That's a pretty good press release, right? You look at ORGS, it's a nice lower float stock. It's 22 million in float. Can definitely rip and run. Trading pretty good volume, 1.8 million shares on average, 31,000. It's up 21%. Good volume, good press release. I want to keep it on watch. I think there's great potential, especially if we stay above 157. 157 is a pretty solid level of support here for ORGS. And if we stay above that level, boom, we could see a bounce. Where to? Back up to that high at 192. Back up to that high of $2. If we ever break over $2, look at the daily chart. Where could we see it go? The 200-day moving average, right around 241. So I see potential here today on ORGS, and I definitely want to keep it on watch above that 157. Okay, so ORGS towards the bottom of the watch list, more of like a back burner, but not quite a back burner. As long as we hold 157, we have potential, right? You guys know my game plan on DWAC, right? If we see that dump on off, we ever come down between 1964 and 1970, I'm looking to get a nice little dip buy if it's the right type of price action for a dip buy. And then we want to see it regain pretty much instantaneously 20 and then start to push off 20. I think there could be a nice little dip buy opportunity here on DWAC. So I want to keep that one on watch right at the start of the day. And then I do want to watch GCT, right? GCT, I see potential to 785 and then $8. And then I see potential to 875 if we can ever break over this first level of resistance here. Okay, but right now I see very, very strong support back down at like that 550 level. So I'm not touching it yet, but there could be great potential. And I want you guys to completely understand that I'm really, really wanting to sit back at the start of the day, be patient, sit on those hands, and look to see how the markets move and develop, right? Is it going to be the same type of market conditions of last week? If so, we know to short these top gaining stocks, sit back for a stock to hit our breakout scanner or a high the day momentum scanner like we saw last week. Right, last week, top gaining stocks, 80% of them fading on off at the open, not doing a lot. And then random stocks ripping and running, becoming our top gaining stocks, 10, 15 minutes into the day. So that's my mindset today. I don't want to be the guinea pig. There's a few stocks that look good that could provide us with opportunity, but I'm not really crazy about the open today. I'm going to sit back, be patient, look and see how the market moves, really, really have a good idea, not be the guinea pig, and then make it happen and just crush today, guys. Right? So those are the top 3 pennies that I want to watch right now at this point in time. Okay? Let's go ahead and get you guys prepared quickly. Not quickly, but let's get you guys prepared with the SPY and the Qs, right? Simple stuff, looking at our levels. And this is all we've been doing lately, and it's been really working well. And you go back and look at last Thursday, right? We came down to the 50% fib level, and we bounced up into that post-market low. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful trade. It was super simple. The market opened, came down to our key level of support, good price action. You guys played calls up into our resistance level. You reversed your position, played puts for a nice move on down. That's all we're looking to do right now at this point in time, especially today. All right, so with the SPY, we have resistance at 378.87. All right, so 378.87. If we can't break above that level of resistance, you want to play puts, right? Where do you want to play puts to? Just look left, right? Look left. Where can we see the market come down to? 373.89. Okay, that's going to be your first level of support where you look to take some profits. If we ever fall below that level and you have a runner on the table, where could we see the market come down to? 370. If we ever crack below 370, where can we see the market come down to? 368.78, right? So keeping it that simple, That simple, okay? If we can't break above 378.87, we're going to play puts off resistance. First target, 373.89. And I'd actually say your first target's going to be 376.34. Okay, so 376.34, first target. Second target, 373.89. Okay, and then pretty much your final target, one of your lower targets, your top targets, down around that 370 level. Okay, but let's say the SPY decides to break that level of resistance, which is, fairly possible, right? If we hold this trend line here on the SPY and we break above 378.87, where can we see the market go? Where can we see the SPY push up to? Well, go back and look at Wednesday's low before that massive move up, for that massive dump, right? That's an extreme. That's a significant point that day on Wednesday, 381.42. So if we break that 378.87 level, right? Simple. We get long. We play calls into our next level of resistance. Next level of resistance, 381.42. Okay, if we ever break over 381.42 and you're holding a little bit of a runner, where are we going next? Most likely 383.14 as your second target. And that also puts you right around this multi-day downtrend. Okay, so keep that on watch, right? You got that multi-day downtrend here on the SPY, right? And that's going to be one of your final targets, which also lines up with a good resistance level that happens to be 383.14, guys. So, I kind of want to see the markets crack and move on down. That's kind of what I want to see, but I'm not going to be, biased to the short side. I'm going to just play the market, right? I'm going to trade what the market gives me. I'm not going to be biased. So, if we break 387.87, or I'm sorry, if we break 378.87, I'm going to play calls to 381.42 and then leave a runner on the table up into that multi-day downtrend right around 383.14. Okay? If we can't break that resistance level and then proceed to crack this uptrend, I'm simply playing puts down to 376.34 and then 373.89. And then if we really have some selling pressure and we're really dumping on off and we leave a nice runner on the table, all the way down towards around 370 on the SPY, guys. Okay? Now let's do this because we are about 10 minutes out. And like I said, I wanted to take at least 10 minutes today to really, really focus on maybe a couple of stocks that you're watching. And I want to make sure that you guys are prepared as well. Okay? So go ahead and hit me with a stock that you think has great potential, that you want me to do some due diligence with you on and help you get more prepared than what you already are. All right, so go ahead and type that ticker on up, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it for you guys. All right. Trevor over on the tube. SNTG. Yeah, let's go look at SNTG real quick. SNTG. Oof. First glance, massive gap up Friday, huge spike, big dump. I don't think we see this bounce until it comes down here to this 327, which, hey, you're kind of close to it, right? You're kind of close. So I would expect a bounce off of Thursday's high a day. Thursday's high a day, 327. And then you could see a bounce back up to 390. All right, so SNTG, if you're looking for a bounce, you're looking for a bounce at 327. Where are you going to take profits if we do bounce? 390. Okay, what happens if we crack below that 327? How low can it go? Right, Thursday's close at 304. Right, I like 327 better. I like that spiking high. I like that high a day. I think that's an area we can bounce off of, back up to 390. And then $4 on SNTG. Apple. Let me go look at Apple real quick. Eventually, we can see that gap fill on Apple. Absolutely. If we ever break 142.75, we can see that daily gap fill at 144.94. But we got really solid support. I mean, look at that solid support. That gap down low before that massive rally early October was at 134.39. What was our low of day on Friday that we hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times? Right? Our low of day was off that same low. So this is a great low risk, high reward trade. If the overall market does move higher, right? If we see the market slowly grind. So here's what I would say. The SPY, if the SPY holds this trend line and breaks 378.87 and we start hitting some of these upper targets, Apple looks fantastic because Apple is such low risk. Your risk is a new yearly low. Your risk is below this super solid support level. Where's your first target, right? That gap down spiking high, which also happens to be Friday's high a day. Where is that? 142.75. And if you break that 142.75 level on Apple, where do you see Apple go next to fill that daily gap? So just weigh out your risk to reward, right? I'm not saying buy it right here, but I'm just saying even if you were to get involved here at 137 and stops go underneath that support level, okay, you're going to risk $3. If you hit your first target, you're getting nearly $6 of reward. And if you fill that gap, you're all the way up towards around $8 of reward. That's almost a 3-to-1 opportunity on Apple, as long as we hold that support level, which is very strong support, back up towards around the gap down spiking high, which was Thursday's high a day, and then Friday's high a day as well, right at 142.75, with the potential to break that level and then fill that daily gap up towards around 144.94. I think we need a little bit more to develop, number one, personally, but I do like it. I think there's good potential, and I do believe if you start to break this downtrend, that could give you a confirmation for an entry on Apple. Like, absolutely. If you can start to break this downtrend on Apple, right, you're getting long, stops are underneath that support level, you have great targets to the upside. It's a really, really nice low risk, high reward opportunity. And you have a bullish reason to get involved. And that bullish reason is a break of this downtrend. So I like Apple. I'm going to add Apple to the watch list. I want to definitely observe this one today. Keep it on watch. I think there's good potential here with Apple, for sure. Mr. G, SPRC, running low float. Yep, this one's getting some great action towards it. It was halted pending news, but now it's live. So they're announcing interim results, meeting primary endpoints. Keyword, meeting primary endpoints in Alzheimer's disease patients. So here we go. That's a really, really good press release. Really good press release here on SPRC, guys. So SPRC, we definitely need to take a moment to make sure we're getting prepared on the stock. Killer press release, meeting primary endpoints, positive phase 2 trials in regards to Alzheimer's. Yeah, absolutely. One of the best press releases you could see with a low float penny stock. Where's support right now at this point in time? 133. Okay. Resistance. It's going to be support, 145. Let's mark up that upper shadow, 155. Right. Mark up that level here at 181. And then look left. But here's one thing I want to point out. So all these spiking highs, right? We're marking up all of the extremes. Okay, so spiking high, spiking high, spiking high, spiking high. So we're above all of these spiking highs. So at the lowest, we have 133 support. Then we could have 145 support off this spiking high from September 14th. We could see 155 support off this spiking high from August 24th. Okay, look left. Where's resistance? Resistance, 181. We ever break over 181, where can we see the stock go? 219. But here's what I want to point out, okay, with SPRC. This stock has a history of gapping up, spiking, giving everything back. Gapping up big, spiking, giving everything back. Big gap up, big spike, everything back. Once again, big gap up, big spike, everything back. So what are we doing today? We're going to have a big gap up, what could we see? A quick big spike. And then what? It dump on off. You're on SPRC. So right now at this point in time, I wouldn't look to hold this thing more than 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't look to hold this thing all day thinking it's going to be, just a stock that goes $3, $4, $5 today. I would think we're going to gap up, open higher, which obviously we're gapping up from 102 to 161. We're up 57% at this point in time. Gap up, quick spike, and then give a lot back. And what's the average spike here, right? So when we open and we spike, what's the average spike that we get, right? It seems like there's an average. So here's a spike, 20%. Right, here's a spike, 22%. Here's a gap up spike, 27%. Here's a gap up and a spike, 20%. So what's the average, right? The average spike after a gap up, you got 20%, 23%, 27%, 20%. It's in the low 20s. So if we gap up at, say, 180, if we open at 180, right, and we spike, say, 20%, where does that put us? Where does that put us? 219. 219 is that prior spiking high of resistance. So it just makes sense, right? History likes to repeat itself. And I would just keep it that simple. It likes to open higher. When it gaps up, spike dump. It did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay? The average spike after a massive gap up is around 20%. So wherever we open, right, 20 to 30% to the upside. And then I would be out just to be safe because the stock likes to do that time and time and time again, right? So play with the market, not against it, okay? History does like to repeat itself, and the reason why, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm not the only trader that sees this. There are hundreds and thousands of other traders that see the same thing. So what do you think they're doing? They're going to get in at the start of the day. It's going to spike. They're going to get all out, and then things going to dump. And then other traders are going to realize or wonder, what just happened? Why did this stock just dump on off, right? Because us, the professionals, are one step ahead. Okay, so be smart. Anything could happen. This stock could go to $100 today. You never know what the market's going to do. But what you have to do is say, hey, what is the most logical thing to happen based on my analysis, based on what I see? Well, that's the most logical thing to happen. Stock opens, maybe a quick 20, 30% spike on up before it starts to give everything back. All right, so SPRC, number one stock at the start of the day, guys. Right, we're transitioning a bit. SPRC, number one. DWAC, number two for that dip buy. And then GCT, number three. But all eyes right now at this point in time, team. All eyes here on SPRC to start the day. You got less than 20 seconds to go. Get fired up, get hyped up. Let's have an awesome day, traders. Let's make it happen. Let's have some fun. And let's lock in some big time profits. You guys ready? Because I am ready. And I'm also watching SPRC right out of the gate for an entry. So I'm looking for a nice open and a break of that downtrend to get some action, guys. I am definitely looking to get involved with SPRC right at the start of the day for that quick spike on up, guys. If I can catch a dip buy around 145 to 150, I'll catch a dip buy around 145 to 150. Let's see if we can come down just a little bit lower here on this first candle. And I want to definitely see if I can catch an entry as close to that 145 to 150 as possible, and then see a break of that downtrend and a nice little spike on up. So there's 150, there's 154. So it is bouncing off 150 a little bit, looking for price action. That's it. There's 150. 150 is getting taken out. Nope, you got big buyers. I'm going to take a small entry at 150. I'm going to scale in here at 150 because I like the idea of the gap up and the big spike. That's what we've seen time and time again. And I'm going to go really, really small size because it is riskier. But I like that idea. You know, breaking it all down, building a plan. It makes sense. We've seen it happen time and time again. The press release is killer. The float's nice and low. I'm okay with taking a small, teeny weeny loss to make a decent little profit here. So is this a riskier trade? Yep, absolutely. Am I risking 3% of my account on this trade? Nope, absolutely not. That's why I only took 600 shares. Not like 6,000 shares. Because I realize it's riskier in the beginning to get involved on this stock right at the start of the day. But after breaking this thing down thoroughly, it's safe to say that, we could see a spike on up before it dumps on off. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It'll be a small loss, but I'm willing to give it a shot here. So now we're back down around that 145 level. We ever start to break this downtrend, we know we could really start to take on off here with SPRC. So SPRC is on high watch right now at this point in time. I want to see if we can ever break back above 155, break the downtrend, spike back up to those pre-market highs, and then 180. Where did we open? We opened right here around 158. We said maybe 20 to 30%. Maybe we get close to $2 and then 220 today. It's possible. Right now, our first target is going to be 174. First target, 181. Second target, third target's going to be $2. And I do want to put DWAC off to the side because I want to see if DWAC is going to ever dump on down to that, 1964 to 1970 level of support, that zone. So definitely still watching DWAC at this point in time. Got DWAC on high watch right now. Right. So everything good? We all set? You guys excited? Because I'm excited. I'm ready to make it happen, team. GCT. Nothing there yet. DWAC. Nothing there yet. ORGS. Nothing there. Get maybe one more ad off that 133, and that would be the last ad. It's actually a little bit higher. It's like at 134. The last ad would be at 134. So again, SPRC, looking to see if we get a little bit of a bounce. If not, it was well worth the go. Seeing it gap up, spike, gap up, spike, gap up, spike, gap up, spike. I'm just playing what the stock's done the last 4 times, thinking, hey, it's probably going to happen again for the 5th time, right? Then to back it up, announced interim results meeting primary endpoints at phase 2 study in Alzheimer's disease. That's a killer press release. Look at the float. Look at the volume. I mean, the stock's got everything going for it. And we already know that it likes to gap up, spike, and then go red. Gap up, spike, then go red. Gap up, spike, then go red. Gap up, spike, then go red. So I'm still looking like, hey, we could still see the spike on up before it gives everything back towards the end of the day. It's very possible. So right now, if it does start cracking below like that 130-ish level, I have to just walk away from it. But I'm willing to scale in and build a little bit position, eventually looking for that spike on up. And we know that the spike could happen very quickly because what? The low float stock. It's 3 million in float. It's the lowest float stock on the leaderboard. So I'm cool with it. I like it. Be patient. We're going to see how this thing develops on out. I like the idea. I like the trade. All right, anything with DWAC yet? We do not have anything with DWAC at this point in time. GCT. And supports down are like 550 DWAC. Again, we still got a little bit more time with DWAC. And we don't have too much with ORGS. So really, I'm just looking to see if SPRC is ever going to start popping on up here. If not, below 130, just walk away. Where's the next best trade at? Ooh, you got an entry on the SPY, guys. You do have an entry on the SPY. I mean, your entry was on the SPY. I think you might be a little too late right now. But you are starting to crack your trend line here on the SPY, guys. Okay, you are starting to crack your trend line here on the SPY. And you may start to see a crack below that 376.34 as well, which would be a really, really nice short down to 373.89. So the SPY should be on, high watch right now at this point in time. If we can start to get some action on SPRC. Break of the VWAP would bring in a lot of volume. Break of the downtrend would bring in some good volume as well. But if we keep making low of days, it's just probably not going to happen. But let's see if we can get a nice little U-shape pop here off these lows. Above VWAP, above the downtrend. And get that little spike on up before the thing dumps on down end of the day. Let's see if we get a day of history repeating itself. But what were our top gainers, right? SPRC was a top gainer at this point in time, fading at the start. GCT was a top gainer, right now, fading right at the start. DWAC was a top gainer. It was kind of a top gainer, I guess, kind of. What's it doing? Not a whole lot right at the start. ORGS, right? Top gainer, one of them. What's it doing? It's fading right at the start of the day. I mean, you kind of see the trend, right? See the trend? That a lot of our top gaining stocks are just really not doing too much. And then a lot of stocks that were doing nothing in pre-market are the ones that are starting to get a little bit of action. Very, very similar as what we were seeing last week. Very similar. So I may have one more ad on SPRC before I call it quits. But if it's going to start moving on up, I believe it starts to happen in the next 3 to 5 minutes. If we start to see that push through VWAP and the downtrend, I think it starts to happen. I'm going to start scaling in a little bit more here and keep my stops nice and tight. If it doesn't start to push here and break here, I don't want to be in it. So I'm willing to double down here off these lows, and if it breaks, it breaks. We start making a lot of good profits. If not, I get out, walk away. Where's the next trade at? But right now, if it's going to start pushing, I believe it starts pushing, like I said, in the next 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm willing start scaling in here, looking for that squeeze on up. If it's not going to happen, hey, it's not going to happen. Stops are nice and tight. Need a little bit more oomph from SPRC. That's it. It's lacking the oomph. Where's the oomph at? Give me the oomph, SPRC. Oomph, baby. Dun 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 dun. Oomph, baby. This thing is really struggling right now, isn't it? Really struggling here. You can tell. You can tell buyers want it, but it's struggling. It really is. You can tell it wants it. You can tell it wants it. It's just every time it tries to get that little oomph, a little push to it, it definitely struggles. If we keep seeing that kind of price action, I'm going to take like a $30 loss, $50 loss. I mean, why hold it if I don't like it? But I'm going to give it a second because it looks like it wants to go. Right? I'm going to give it a second because it looks like it actually wants to get going. But every time it looks like it wants to get going, you can see it struggle a little bit. I'm still holding, though. You got the volume increasing. You got some good buyers stepping on in. But stops are now under 140. Stops are under 140. It's got to start to push here. This is the point in time where it needs to start pushing and breaking. From a technical perspective, price action, volume, 3 to 5 minutes. That's why I doubled down. 3 to 5 minute horizon. My stops are really nice and tight now, but we need to see the break of the downtrend, the break of the VWAP. And we got some action, guys. But stops are nice and tight. 145 cost basis. Stops are at 140. And we got a 170 target, 174 target. There's your 150 pop. Okay, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to take a little bit of profits really quick. Because I'm still like, last week the price action sucked so bad. I wish I was all in, all out. So I'm going to do what I can to lock in a couple doll hairs when I have it. Nice break. I'm going to take a little bit more. I really want to hold this, guys, for a lot longer. But at the same time, last week I tried that, and it just wasn't working. Because the stocks turned over so quick. You know, here, I'm out. I got to do it. I have to take the profits. I have to. I know it's going to go to 170 and 180. I just feel it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm stupid for holding it. Because of last week. So, all right. I'm going to take a quick, 295. I feel I'm like 50-50 with the exit. I'm not going to lie. I feel good that I took profits, that I'm not being greedy. But I also feel stupid because there's no reason to get out from a technical perspective. Like, there was no reason to get out. Nice break over VWAP, nice break of the downtrend, great volume, momentum's increasing. There's no reason to get out. But there's like this gut feeling that's like, dude, get out. Last week, you tried to hold a little bit longer. You tried to have runners. Nothing worked, right? Get out. So I hope that my gut is going to prove me right here. I really hope my gut's going to prove me right. Like, all right, you did the right thing. But from a technical perspective, there's no reason to get out. But I'm going to go ahead and get out. If my gut is right, we're going to call this the alpha gut. All right, do we have anything else? GCT? Not yet. DWAC? Not yet. ORGS? Not yet. Apple? Nothing. Boeing? Nothing. The Qs? Nothing. The SPY's getting us that little retest. You can kind of see it on a 5-minute time frame, right? You see that 5-minute retest. I hope you guys maybe held a little bit longer on SPRC. But like I said, I had to do the right thing. I think that's the right thing anyway. If you're watching PHUN, you got a gap fill. You see that little gray box? That's a gap fill. Okay, so you're looking at 153 to 161 gap fill on PHUN. Yeah, it's still going. I knew it. Man, it's all good. It's all good. But you guys are, you're still looking good. You got to break 158, right? You got to break 158 here. That's the open. But if you can break the open, guys, whew, got so much room to 174 and then 181. You guys are sitting pretty right now over on SPRC. All right, we're about 15 minutes into the day. YouTubers, that's all you get from me, guys. That's it. And I don't have my camera up today because my green screen's all jacked up. So, and the lights are all weird. And yeah. So anyway, you can see me for a second. Love you all. Have an awesome day. This is what you get from me, right? You guys get 30 minutes of prep from 9 to 9:30. And then you guys can kind of see some live commentary, live trades at the start of the day if we have anything worth taking. Again, it's a great educational learning experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. You guys are prepared. You know exactly the top stocks why our top stocks are the top stocks. Maybe you guys got some quick wins and we're able to lock in some profits in the market, right? Have a great day. Happy, safe trading. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can hit me up anytime, Josh at alphadaytrading.com. But before you leave, I want you to hit me with a big old 3, 2, 1. Woo! It's an Alpha Day Trading woo, and I want you guys wooing with me. I mean, we're not leaving inside a chat, guys. We're still here, all right? But for YouTubers, enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. Make it happen. Lock in some profits. Do the right thing, right? I'll see you back here tomorrow. Till then, happy, safe trading. Catch you guys on the flip side. All right, guys, we're all set. Ladies and gentlemen, inside a chat. Now it's really time to make some money. Okay, it's time to really get focused. Okay, enough of the games. Now it's really time to lock in those profits. All right, let's do it. So again, PHUN, where's your open? Right around 139 is your open on PHUN. You have potential to fill this daily gap, right? So between 153 and 161 is resistance here on PHUN. Right? Between that 153 and 161 resistance. Not a bad little trade. I mean, nice U-shape breakout, nice retest. Now you can start to see that next leg up. I kind of like PHUN. I'm not going to lie. PHUN doesn't look bad. I mean, it's such low risk with really nice reward here on PHUN, especially if we hold above that 139 level of support. And we know we have room to start filling that gap all the way into, the low 160s. The SPY looks great. I hope you guys were able to grab those put contracts over on the SPY. Nice crack, and you've got a retest on the SPY. Even got a nice little retest. I hope you guys were able to lock in some profits there over on the SPY. My goodness. My goodness. Allergies are kicking my butts, but we're good. So PHUN above 138 to 139 support. You have room to that, again, 153 and then 160. I'm going to take a small little stab at it here on PHUN, guys. I'm going to take a little bit of a stab here because the risk is so low. I'm going to take a little bit of a stab here. I mean, the risk is so low here that, I mean, it's worth it, in my opinion. If we can start popping above that seller at 142. We have popping above that seller at 15 to 20 cents of potential to the upside. 15 to 20 cents. If it's going to start popping, it's going to start popping on this candle. In my opinion, if it's going to start getting that break and start popping, it's going to start popping on that candle and get some action. There we go. See if we can lock in a couple bucks here on PHUN. Stops are at 138. See if we can lock in a couple bucks here on PHUN. Stops are at 138. See if we can lock in a couple bucks here on PHUN. We add some base hits. Is that what we're going to be doing today? Just locking in base hits, all in, all out, quick? Is that what we're going to be doing today? Just locking in base hits? I think we get a high a day here. I definitely see the high a day over 145. Right up to 150, we lock in some profits. Stops right now at 130. Yep, underneath this low here. That's where stops are at. Right underneath that low. Underneath this like 138 stops at the lowest. Right underneath that low. It looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. I like it. It popped. We have volume. Now we just need to see the follow through. You got to keep your stops nice and tight. If you were grabbing that break and retest on PHUN nice down around that 139, 141 level, your stops are maybe 2 pennies away. Your first target is going to put you up at 150, and then 153, and then upwards of that gap fill in the 160s. They're on PHUN. Honestly, it didn't follow through, so I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't really like PHUN anymore. Because I'm going to be real with you guys. It didn't break and then continue and follow through. That type of move, that type of price action, that type of setup, break, retest, and it pops on that candle, should have opened on up and started to really move. Now it's kind of struggling and pulling back. I'm going to start getting out of this because it's not really doing what I expected it to do. So I'm going to start scaling out to de-risk a little bit. It's not even a big risk, but I'm going to treat it like it was a big size because it's just not really moving the way it should be moving. It was a big size. So I'll take a $36 loss because it's not really opening on up the way it should have been. I'll take a $36 loss because it's not really opening on up the way it should have been. I'll take a $36 loss because it's not really opening on up the way it should have been. We have an audio issue? What's wrong with the audio? We have an... Oh, my bad. My bad. You hear the echo? My bad, guys. Yeah, you should be good now. That's my fault. Man, I cannot wait for the new development to be done because this whole Zoom thing, 5 mics, it's just too much. It's too much to handle. I just need one button to click. I got way too many things going on. So,
morning, Josh. Too many buttons, huh?
Too many buttons, man. I got Zoom, I got this, I got desktop audio, I got this and that, and oh my goodness. It's a lot going on. What's up, Matt? Good morning.
Morning. Dealing with some fun headaches on my other stuff. Apparently, Nevada got hit with like 2